this one works. Then we can get started. 5:20 a.m. There we go. Seems to be working. Sounds fine. Sounds fine. So we are going to get started. Good morning, friends. Thanks for dropping by, saying hi. For those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I am 41 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours in a night. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance. I try to eat generally healthy, wholesome foods, even though there's room for snacks and indulgences in any healthy diet, I think. And I try to hit my protein goal by eating sufficient protein throughout the day, 60 to 80 grams on a regular day, 80 to 100 grams on a day like today, where I'm training with kettlebells to make sure that I have enough fuel to recover and repair and build some muscle. Not trying to become the biggest, most muscular guy in the world, just trying to stay strong and fit and healthy for a normal life. Besides that, I try to spend time with people I love and care about and do things that I enjoy. I live a relatively active life. You can follow me here on my channel. I show up every day for a workout, whether that's kettlebell or mobility. On Sundays I go out for sprints for a run. I record a little podcast about health and fitness on Saturday and Sunday morning, where we talk about different topics, whether it's sleep, or food, or activity, friendships, or hobbies, or motivation, or just reflecting in general on life and what's going on there. So if those are things that you're interested in, you go ahead, check out my channel, hit subscribe, maybe, and we can continue the conversation. This morning, it is Friday. I am almost recovered from my evening of judo. It was Wednesday. It's a new addition to the arsenal of activity that I employ throughout the week to stay fit and healthy, and have some fun and hopefully live longer and healthier. And we're going to do some strength work. So we have slightly heavier weights that we are going to be working with today. Just gonna get started and have some fun this morning. Take it easy. Never work too hard. Just do enough. And like I said, it's not about building the biggest, strongest muscles. It's about building and maintaining capability for everyday things and for a normal life. Remember that this is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I would like to feel fit, capable, and competent for a living. I would like to be able to do the things that I want to do and stay strong enough and healthy enough to do them throughout life. And that being said, let's hit the timer and let's get started this morning. And if you have any questions for me, you go ahead into the chat and you let me know what you want to ask me. Just do a check-in with the body. See where we are, how we feel. I think we're feeling quite all right in terms of how the body's moving and what the body's doing. And then we're going to get started with the heavier weights. we're going to do full range of motion this morning. Try to hit all the major muscles. And we're going to have some fun while doing it. Okay. Let's get started. Some deadlifts and some push-ups. 40 kilos, nothing extraordinary, but nothing to sniff at either. And just a cozy, comfortable, run-of-the-mill set of deadlifts. Like I said, nothing crazy, nothing special. Go ahead, hit like if you're here on the stream, and let me know. Say hi. Thanks for dropping by and watching. And hit a like, leave a question. I'd appreciate that. Always welcome. So, in my enthusiasm about restarting judo, I went online to order myself a throwing dummy because I thought it would be fun. And the throwing dummy arrived yesterday. And it was 60 kilos of pure terror. Because because I couldn't comfortably get it upright. Here I was thinking, that's going to be fun. Going to be able to work with a dummy and get a bit of weight training in, do some conditioning work. Not throwing it the entire time, but at least getting into position and lifting it off the floor, so everything that I'll do on the mat will become easier and easier, like, an additional once a week of practice. But it turned up into an episode where me and my neighbor had to wrap a human-sized dummy that weighs 60 kilos in plastic foil, drag it outside, shove it into the trunk of the car. Feeling very awkward, hoping that nobody would see it and start asking any kinds of questions. In order for me to return it to the distributor this morning, so I have a 1 hour drive ahead of me. I have a 1 hour drive ahead of me this morning and a 1 hour drive back to rectify that situation. The joys of being an adventurous father. It is what it is sometimes. You win some, you lose some, and you just have to make do with what you have, however well you can. So I need a different plan to work on my judo conditioning at home. I'm looking for an alternative lifting dummy that does not weigh 60 kilos but still is functional, which is proving to be rather difficult because they also need to be yay high. Oh well. Oh. We're just lifting today. We're just relaxing, easing into a nice morning workout. Nothing crazy, nothing extraordinary. Simply working out, lifting weight, making sure that we are staying strong and capable for living. Remember, we start light. Make sure you get clearance from a doctor. Make sure you get some in-person guidance on the big moves and the techniques, because we don't want to get injured. We want to set ourselves up for success by being able to train well and effectively for a living. I know it's Friday morning, Thursday night. It's a great night to do a bit of a workout. All right. Do the push-ups. One more set of these. And then I'm going to move on to squats and rows. It's because we like squats and rows. But the squats we're doing with double 16s, not double 20s. I'm not sure I'd be able to get the 20s up into rack position easily. Not yet, anyway. Okay. And it's nice to be able to do that. Hey, one more time. And you know, like I said, we're not doing anything crazy. We're just trying to stay strong for an average life. Just lifting, working against some resistance, telling our muscles that we need them to be able to do something, maybe a bit more than we would normally demand from them. Ivanis, привет. That has been a long time. I hope you're doing all right. And I hope life's been treating you well. I hope you're safe and well and doing good. And thanks for dropping by and letting me know that you're still there. It's good to hear from you. Good to see you. Whew. And the final push-ups. Now we're good to go for the squats and the rows. See you for today. I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope the problems are solved and I hope that you are all right. Okay, so we're going to do those push-ups and then move on to the rows and the squats. There we go. That was fun. Let's catch your breath. We have a little challenge ahead of us. In terms of getting into squatting position, 32 kilos front squat, then 20 and 20 gorilla rows. Something to be working on. If I know a language or a greeting, I usually try to use it. Okay. Concentrate because we don't want to put out our back. Squats. Tough cookies, man. What can I say? But we'll get there. Evaldis, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Not a distraction at all. And as always, I appreciate the support, friend. Thanks a lot. Oh, I think you missed the part where I hurt my back while lifting one of these a couple of months back. And I'm at the tail of the recovery, but in a good way. Everything turned out fine. So hey, let's refocus. We have real challenges in life. We have challenges in terms of the way the world's set up and our desire to be fit and healthy for a living, right? We live in an environment where it's more likely than not that we're going to end up overweight and diseased if we're not careful about what we eat, how we sleep, how we move, and if we really want to live longer and happier lives, how we connect and contribute, and how we're learning and growing as individuals. So there's enough for us to do. What we want to focus on every day is small changes that allow us in that environment to make better choices over time, so that over the years we build up the routines, systems, and habits that are going to keep us fit and healthy for living. Okay? So just remember, that's what this is all about. Not about lifting heavy and setting personal records. One more set of each to go. Well, two more of the row, but one more set of the combination. Those squats, man. I think there comes a point, hey, you can load up 40 if you're really strong, 48 or 64 kilos on your chest, but there's also significant risk involved in swinging, cleaning, and racking heavy kettlebells. So there comes a point where enough is enough, or we need to do more repetitions, or we need to find alternatives for everyday strength and fitness. To be honest, half the body weight maybe even getting closer to 48 kilos, but double 24 should be more than enough. To maintain capacity through life. And also remember, 24 or 32, what, 16 one-legged, it's more or less a 32 with both legs. So there's a slightly different activation through the core. Yeah, that's still, that is still doable. We're going to switch to one leg with 20 kilos and alternate with an 8 kilo overhead press before we do some halos and some chops to wrap this up. We will get there, friends. But we need to remember what we're working towards. The mission, the goal, is to be healthy, to stay healthy, to live an active, self-sufficient, healthy, and adventurous life. Focus, heavy weights, racked. set for rows. What a morning. What a day. All right. So what have we got? Got rows. We've got single-legged squats, kickstand squats, and overhead presses. And work those quads. Make sure we stay strong and capable of these big muscles in our legs. All right, final set. Rows, 8 times left, 8 times right. Whew. All righty, right. Don't know about you, but I am definitely looking forward to that cup of coffee. Why we're switching to an 8. For those of you who don't know, my shoulder is still working on that mobility and range of motion. It is limited. We are slowly improving it and extending it. So 8 is heavy enough to challenge the chain of muscles, but not so heavy as to overdo it and cause injury or discomfort that lasts more than 24 hours. Now, I've learned from my mistakes. We are definitely not doing a dead clean anymore with this. All right, 5 times. I'm going to go straight on to the and again, we are not doing anything crazy. We are simply working on our ability to develop force and power by having strong, capable muscles, right? It's functional to be strong and to have muscle tissue that is going to keep us capable and able. But like I said before, we face serious challenges just in our everyday life. I mean, to be really mindful of the choices that we make, the things that we choose to do, and the habits, systems. That we choose to employ 5 times. See, that's a lot heavier than we want to admit. We need to be careful with it. So, it's the little things, right? It's the glasses of water and the apple before breakfast, before lunch, before dinner. It's the way we shop, what we keep in the house, the things that we have available in order for us to eat, what we snack on, the things we choose to buy, the alternatives, and then when we buy them, the quantities in which we choose to consume them. And I posted a picture in the community last week, right, where I was eating a bag of crisps. And to be very honest, I think that is perfectly all right. If we are able to moderate either the frequency or the volume, right? We had some of the crisps on Friday, some of the crisps on Saturday, spread out over 2 days. Not too bad for self-control. Yesterday, long day at a work event. The train ride home in the evening went through dinner time, so I bought a salad bowl, supermarket, and then I bought a pack of Oreos, a sleeve of Oreos, and a bottle of Coke, which I consumed, half the bottle of Coke, and about 3/4 the sleeve of the Oreos on top of a salad that was nutritious but not ridiculously high in calories. And the point being that it is possible to make choices and exert some self-control where and when we choose to. And then we have it, the final set of presses. We're going to move on to the halos and chops. before we finish it off. Whew. Well, that was already quite a good workout. As always, super cool. Thanks for rolling by. And I appreciate the support of Alice. And again, very happy to hear from you again. This is always a good thing. All right, we're just going to do some halos, chops, get that rotation in. Work on those shoulders, make them strong, supple. That twist in, controlled twist, spine, hips, core, with some weight. Give it a few months and probably move on to a heavier weight. One set, and coming down to the second set. And if you dropped by and you enjoyed the workout or want to have more of a conversation about health, fitness, kettlebell, longevity, life in general, as a man or a boy in this world, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, I think, in your 50s, 60s, 70s, chime in and chat. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what's up. Go ahead, subscribe, ask away. We can discuss life. I've got some experience under my belt. And there's also a lot of things that I need to learn. Forever a white belt in that way. Right? Remember to keep that halo tight and to control the movement, not to let the kettlebell's momentum carry you through it. And we're done for today. Take a minute to sit and relax. Thanks for dropping by. You also have a nice and productive day. Here we go. 41 minutes later. A few minutes past 6 a.m. We have successfully completed a workout this morning. Take a minute, relax. Appreciate the moment. Appreciate the accomplishment. Appreciate showing up and doing the work. Remember, as you're breathing in and breathing out. You're good just the way you are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. It's the person we are today. It's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. And a bit of kindness is going to go a long way. All right? There are enough people out there who want to put us down. So we'll lift ourselves up. Always. And each other. Here. In this group. Thanks for dropping by. Hit like, subscribe. Keep doing what you're doing. Be consistent, regardless. Be careful. Don't get injured. Seek the right advice, medical, professional training, physical therapy, whatever you need to get on track and to stay on track. And remember that this is a process that is going to last us a lifetime. That's it for today, friends. I'm going to clean up and then head out. Thanks for dropping by. Be well. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, subscribe. Same goes for you, friends. Remember to subscribe and speak soon.